Well, hello and welcome to Knife Delights. How's everybody doing today? We got us another restoration project. We have this wonderful Hawkbill pruning knife made by Klein Tools out of Chicago, Illinois. Listen to the snap on that. I have one that's similar to this. I need to dig it out, but these things, boy, this one's tough too. That's a hard pull. Yeah. Not very good walk and talk there. We're going to have to see what we can do about that. Hopefully we can get that to snap shut a little better. But you can see we got some rust down here. And we look down in the well or down here in the channel. You can see we got stuff down in there. Is that showing up? Hopefully. And some rust down in there. So, I think to get started, we're just going to throw it in the Evapo-Rust and let it do its thing. I'll let the knife soak for about an hour and a half in the Evapo-Rust, and this is kind of what we're looking like here. I need to get it dried off. Of course, always rinse it off in water. And this is how we're looking. Wanted to check down in the channel here and just see what we got. Still some rust down in there, as you can see. Now, I could let it soak in the Evapo-Rust longer and actually eat all of that rust away, but I don't like to leave knives in the Evapo-Rust any longer than necessary. So you can see, you know, usually an hour to 2 hours, it loosens it enough that you can get it cleaned out. And I'd rather, you know, use a little sandpaper down in there to get the rest of it out, rather than just letting the knife soak for hours and hours. If you let it like soak in overnight, everything's going to be totally black. Totally black. So I'm going to have a little bit of work to do here. As you can see. But overall, this knife is in pretty good shape. Now, I did find some interesting history about Klein Tools, and it's really, really interesting. I didn't know there was so much to know about Klein, but it appears he was a German immigrant and came over around 1857, I think, is when the company started. And Klein has made a lot of tools, still made in the USA. I did find out a dating system, so we'll go over that just a little bit here in just a bit. But let's get started cleaning on this. folks, I don't know what you think, but I think she's turned out pretty nice. She shined up. Now, these bolsters were tough. I don't know why, but they just did not want to clean and polish, but I finally got them. I need to do a little bit more buffing on them here. Yeah, maybe I'll hit them one more time. I don't know. That one came out pretty nice. That one just didn't, just stayed dull, kind of frost looking. So I'm not quite sure why, but she's nice and clean. Kind of a matte finish instead of a shiny finish like that side. Blade came out really nice. I think Jessie should be happy with this. We'll take a look at those back springs there. And we're going to look down in here. And I got to tell you, there's a tough spot. And I've ran into this on another knife. But right down in there, where the pin from this goes all the way across, then there's another little pin down there. And there was some rust or something down in there, and I just couldn't get down into it. I did soak this twice, so hopefully if there's any rust down in there, it's been neutralized. But other than that, the channel's very nice and clean. There we go, that's a better picture. Can't get it to focus here. There we go. Everything looks nice and clean. Got the brass here for the liner lock. It's all cleaned up and shiny. So yeah, Jessie, I think you'll be happy with this. Now, I was really impressed with the history of Klein tools. Again, I think it was 1857 when Klein opened his blacksmith shop in Chicago. And he kind of got famous for the tool business by making linesman's pliers. Remember, electricity was new back then. So he came out with linesman's pliers and then started manufacturing other tools. There are a way to date his tools, and I can't remember. I have to try to find the article that talked about it. But you can see an S up there. I think that stands for a year. And if you can see on mine, it's got a V up there at the top. So that stands for a year. And just look at the difference between his and mine. Yep. See how much nice and clean his is? I haven't done anything to mine. But yeah, just a wonderful knife. Wonderful knife. Now these things close so hard, you got to be careful almost. They are tough. You can see there, I smudged it already. I'll have to keep buffing on it here. But yeah. Well, I got one more knife of Jessie's to go. And that's this Stockman. And I'm not quite sure when I'm going to get this done, because I think we're going to do some other things and just clean it. So, I don't know yet. But I want to make sure I have the time to do this one up proper. Well, down here in the lower right-hand corner, I'll put a link to my playlist, that Big Round Knife Delight, so smash that if you'd like to subscribe. Down the lower left-hand corner, well, that's just the next video YouTube thinks you should watch. So until next time, have a very delightful day.